Hello there, Fro here again with the final regular season week football picks and a recap of Week 16. Hope everybody had a fantastic Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, all that stuff. Everybody had great holidays. Hope everybody got what they wanted, got to spend time with friends, family, enjoy people's company, and just, take a break from the shittiness of the world and just for a day, and, kick back and relax. Getting right into Week 16, went 11-5. We're trying to finish the year strong, just like my Colts are, but we'll get into that. Start off with the first games that were on Saturday, I believe. Yes, they were. Washington, Tennessee. Picked Tennessee to win. They won 25-16. No surprise here. And Washington, they tried, but you're down your fourth-string QB, man. What are you gonna do? Big game this week between the Titans and the Colts, but we will get into that. Baltimore Chargers. I picked Chargers to win, and they lost 22-10. I still think Lamar Jackson has a long way to go passing the ball, but they're playing smash mouth old school football, and I can't help but say that I love it. I love watching the old school football and just running the ball down the team's throats, playing great defense, and they're going to be a dangerous team come playoffs. I mean, if they can't run the ball or something, they're going to be in trouble because I think Lamar Jackson's going to be exposed if he has to throw the ball more than he has to, but as far as just, the way they're playing, if they play their strengths, they're going to be a tough out. Cincinnati, Cleveland, who cares? Pick Cleveland to win. They won 26-18. Cleveland, man, watch out next year. If they get a legitimate head coach, I don't think keeping Greg Williams is the right idea. I've said that before. The interim coach staying on as the head coach further is never a good thing. It hardly ever works out, if ever. Excuse me. But Cleveland, legitimate team with that's going to be dangerous next year with the right offseason and the right coach. Tampa Bay, Dallas. Dallas won. I picked Dallas to win. They won 27-20. Who cares? Who cares? Tampa Bay sucks. Minnesota, Detroit. Huge game for Minnesota to keep their playoff hopes alive. And I picked them to win. They won 27-9. Nothing to say here. Detroit is... They're a dumpster fire. Stafford is not great, and that's being kind, I think. They need an overhaul, much like another Detroit team, like my Pistons. But that's neither here or there. But Pistons suck. Whatever. Where was I? Jacksonville, Miami. Picked Miami to win. And Jacksonville found another top. They won 17-7. Jacksonville, I'm gonna be rooting for you this week. That defense is playing great the last part of the season, but Cody Kessler is not great, and Bortles actually came back in this game, so ugh. Buffalo, New England. Pick New England to win. They won 24-12, and I think this is it, boys and girls. I think this is finally the dynasty crumbling. Gronk is absolutely, he's done. He is washed. He has the back of a 55-year-old at this point. Brady looks horrible. I mean, if they can run the ball and play defense, yeah, they're gonna have chances to win at home in the postseason. But if they go on the road, I don't see this team beating anybody in the AFC on the road. I think it's finally happening. It wouldn't surprise me if they got one more run this year, but this is definitely it. There's just no way this team is gonna bounce back next year. Look for the empire to finally reconstruct next year after it falls apart after this year. Green Bay, the Jets, picked the Jets to win, and they lost 44-38 in halftime. In overtime, and Rodgers had a great game, but it's a game that didn't matter for either team. But it was an entertaining game for two teams that didn't matter, so give it that. Houston at Philly. Big Dick Nick is who I picked to win, and he led that. He got freaking knocked out of the game. He came back in, was the hero, set up Jake Elliott for the game-winning field goal, and they beat Texans 32-30. Eagles still alive. They need Vikings to lose next week, and we'll see. I think it's very probable that it could happen. But we'll get to that when I get to the next week picks. Atlanta, Carolina. Who cares? Cam didn't play. I was rooting for that kid Heineke because he seems like a good kid and has a good story and stuff about his father and all that stuff. But he didn't play very well. And the Panthers just... it's McCaffrey and nothing else. But McCaffrey's awesome. But yeah, camp sucks. So I picked Carolina to win. They lost 24-10. Atlanta, get healthy next year. I think you guys can make it back to the playoffs. Rams at Arizona. Picked the Rams to win. They won 31-9. Love you, Fitzgerald. But my God, I feel so bad for you. So, I hope that wasn't the second last game we see of you, but I have a feeling it might be. Oh boy, Chicago at San Francisco. Picked Chicago to win. They won 14-9. San Francisco's been a tough out at most points this year, and we'll see what happens next year with Garoppolo and stuff. But who knows? They're another team that needs a good offseason, and they need Jimmy G to get healthy. But Mullins has shown enough that he can be at least a serviceable backup, I think, for them next year. And just the injury bug was just too much for this year. Pittsburgh and New Orleans. I was a huge Saints fan for this game for reasons I'll discuss at the end of this week's picks, or this week's recap with the Colts game. But regardless, needed the Saints to win, and I love Juju. I feel so bad for him. I wish it would have been anybody else on that team that fumbled, but I'll take it. Saints won and set up a huge game for the Colts next week. But Saints legit. They're probably the top team in the NFC. I mean, the way the Rams have played over the past month, I think it's the Saints conference to win. But hey, I think the NFC is going to be interesting when it comes to playoff time. There's some, especially with the Seahawks and stuff. It's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be a fun playoffs this year. I think we're going to see something different this year as far as Super Bowl goes. Well, where was I? Kansas City at Seattle. Another great game. I picked Seattle to win, though, at home, and they did, 38-31. They outdueled Mahomes. Mahomes is the MVP this year. I mean, he's lost like all his big games, but it's not his fault. They're putting up like 30 points a game when they lose. And this is another reason why I tell everybody, football, team sport. 53 people on the active roster. The quarterback doesn't play defense. I don't give a shit about QB wins are not a stat. They never will be a stat. They're only a stat in New England. That's the only place where they can think it's a stat. But regardless, Mahomes the MVP, has an extremely bright future, especially with Andy Reid, who is just a quarterback whisperer. So, not a great time management coach, but gets everything out of the QB, that's for sure. Denver at Oakland. Oakland was not the team I picked. I picked Denver to win, and Oakland won 27-14. But good for Oakland. Probably winning their last game they're ever going to play at that stadium. But ruining their draft pick chances for number 1 overall. Whatever. Giants at the Colts. The Colts are a very young team, made the huge mistake of looking forward to the next week where they thought it would be a huge game, which it's going to be, and overlooking the Giants who, despite all the Eli memes and all that stuff, they played well this year at points, and their offense is legit. Even without ODB, Barkley's good, and Sterling Shepard, Evan Ingram, they got some weapons there. The Colts only led this game for about 55 seconds, but it was the only 55 seconds that mattered. Huge comeback win. Can't say enough about the defense coming up when it needed to. I mean, the defense was awful in the first half and parts of the second half, but made it play when they needed to. And Luck's awesome. T.Y.'s awesome. I can't wait till next year. We have a very good chance of making the playoffs this year and maybe making some noise, but next year is just looking great. I cannot wait for the offseason, but this year is still what I'm focusing on, and a meaningful game for the Colts in Week 17. Anyway, I got that game right. Colts won 28-27. I picked the Colts. On to Week 17, the final day of the regular season. All of the games are on Sunday. There's going to be a lot of backups, a lot of games that don't mean anything. I mean, well, not a lot of games, but there's good games that don't mean anything, so we'll see what happens. This week's a crapshoot as far as I go. This be like picking up preseason games. Miami at Buffalo. Look for Buffalo to win. I think they're the better team right now at home. They found a way to win. Detroit, Green Bay. The game doesn't matter, but Rodgers, I'm pretty sure, is playing. Look for Packers to win. Jets at New England. I really think this is a game that Jets could win, but New England still needs to win for the whole playoff seeding and all that. I think they've run the ball well enough and play enough defense, and a rookie quarterback on the road at New England in December, I think New England wins that game. But your time's coming. Get ready to embrace the next era of your football team. That's all I gotta say. Good things don't last forever. Trust me. I thought I'd be watching Peyton Manning in a Colts uniform forever, and he didn't even end his career in Indy. But I still can't believe he's been retired for 2-3 years now, or whatever, how long it's been. The game misses you, Peyton. That's all I gotta say. Oh, Carolina, New Orleans. I'm pretty sure New Orleans is going to rest all their starters. They got the one seed wrapped up. I don't think Carolina's very good, but I think they're good enough to beat the backups. But Cam's probably going to play, but Cam's not very good. I think McCaffrey goes off again and they win this game. Dallas at the Giants. I'm not sure what the seeding is for the Cowboys, if they can go up or down from 3 or 4, wherever the hell they're at. But I think they win. Even at the Giants, I think just Dallas will find a way to win that game. But I'm not too confident about Dallas come playoff times. You guys, Dak is not the answer, but run the ball and play defense. You have a chance in this league, especially in the playoffs when the games get a lot tighter. Atlanta and Tampa Bay. Who cares? Atlanta wins. Tampa Bay sucks. Atlanta sucks too, but they suck a little less. Just a little less. Just a smidge. Jacksonville, Houston. Funny thing is, Jacksonville wins this game and Houston loses, then the winner of the Colts-Titans game not only makes the playoffs, they steal the division from the Texans. And I think there's a legitimate chance that Jacksonville wins this game. They've been playing better. They play tough in division games usually. That defense is clicking right now. They just got to score enough points. I mean, I know Houston's going to be Houston's at home. I just have a feeling Jacksonville's going to win this game. I feel like Houston has been crashing back down to earth over the past month. The luck runs out eventually. You can't, they had a good string of luck for the beginning of the season, and they are still a legitimately decent to good team, but they weren't as good as the record was showing in their 9 straight wins. Jackson wins that game, and Houston goes from we could go there with 2 or 3 seed, and now they could be that freaking 6th seed. Chargers at Denver. Chargers fighting for the either the 5 seed or could be all the way up to the 2 or 1 seed, I think. I think they win. Denver, they mailed it in. They're done. Oakland, Kansas City. San Francisco at the Rams. The Rams. Niners have played tough this year, and they usually play division games tough, but Rams, for playoff seeding and all that at home, they win. Chicago, Minnesota. Now, this is the game the Eagles need to go their way for them even to have any meaning to their game at all, which I think they play the same time. Yeah, they do play the same time, I'm pretty sure, at 4 o'clock. I'm assuming that's what it looks like. I don't write the times down in my little notebook here, but I think Chicago wins this game on the road. Chicago playing for playoff seeding. Minnesota home is going to be tough out, but I just feel like that defense against Kirk Cousins again. I think the Bears win this game, and the Vikings could still very well make the playoffs if the Eagles end up losing, but I don't see that happening either, but we'll get to that soon. Cincinnati, Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh on the outside looking in, and they need to win this game, which I think they will. Bengals aren't very good, but they need some help from another game coming up here shortly from a team they probably don't want to root for at all, but we'll get to that soon. Arizona, Seattle. This might be the last game Fitzgerald will ever get to see in the NFL. If it is, bravo. Fantastic career, and one of the greatest human beings that have ever graced the football field. Talent-wise, and just overall being a human being and being just a great person. One of my most respected non-Colts players that I've ever had the fortune of watching, and I wish him the best if he does retire. But I hope he plays, and somehow they can still make a run for a playoffs in his career. The most loyal player you'll ever see, and I salute you, Fitzgerald. That's all I gotta say. Good for you. Good career. If this is it, I'll miss you, and best of luck. Philadelphia, Washington. Man, Washington, you guys had this division it was so right there, and then just catastrophic injury after catastrophic injury, your QBs just ruined any chance you had. Tater, get out of here. Goddamn cat. I think Philly wins that game pretty easily. Washington, they just can't do enough on offense with Josh Johnson. What are you going to do? Cleveland at Baltimore. Now, this is the game that the Steelers win against the Bengals, which they should, but who knows anymore with them. They did lose to the Raiders this year, by the way. They need to root for Cleveland to go into Baltimore, who's playing really great defensive smash mouth, running the ball down your throat football, and they need Cleveland to win. And I think that's possible. But I'm picking Baltimore to win this game, but I would not be surprised if Cleveland wins this game, because Cleveland, they're an up-and-coming team, and playing spoiler for them, it's going to be something they're going to be interested in. And it should be very interesting what happens in this game. But I think Baltimore's a better team at home. If it was at Cleveland, I may pick Cleveland, but I'm picking in my head here. I think Baltimore wins this game. And watch out in the playoffs because, like I said, if they can run the ball and their defense is great, they have a chance against anybody. Any week, with the last game of the regular season, flexed to the Sunday night game, Indy traveling to Tennessee, winner gets in. And the winner gets the division if the Jaguars beat the Texans. But I'm just gonna say now that I could not be prouder of the Colts team right now. Even if they lose this game, they lay an egg. If they lose like 45-0 against the Titans, I don't even care. This year was an overwhelming success where the team started in the offseason. People were like, "Oh, Luck's never gonna play again. He's gonna be checked down. Charlie, he's gonna suck. Yada yada yada." All these young guys and all that stuff. And that's the great part. You take. With Vinatieri accounted for the roster, the Colts have the 5th youngest roster in the entire NFL. You take Vinatieri off of there, who's going to be like 45 soon, and they're the youngest roster in the league. It's so skewed just from him, which I still love Vinny, and I hope he plays as long as he can keep kicking. But the youngest roster without him going forward, by a good margin, the most cap space going into next season, a young up-and-coming head coach. Luck is just entering his prime. And just young players contributing this year already between Quentin Nelson and Darius Leonard. The future is so bright. This year's a success. Anything at this point is gravy. And going into Tennessee, Jarrell Casey is on IR now. Mariota, I think he's going to play just because it's such a big game, but he might be banged up. I just think the Colts are just destined to win this game. I mean, and Luck is 10-0 against the Titans in his career. This will be a hell of a time to get that one win, though. I'll say that. Like I said, I'm picking the Colts to win that game. Excuse me. But if they lose, it'll sting for a little bit. But I won't be able to complain. It's been a great year. The future is super bright. Yeah, I don't know what to say. Just a great week for the Colts this past week, and hoping for a big week this week. What a way to end the season, playing meaningful football, and again flex into the last game of the season for Sunday night. Winner get in. Can't ask. It's a playoff game. That's what it is. It's a playoff game, and I can't wait for it. I think the Colts win this game. Should be a good game, division game. Both teams are going to play their asses off, but look for the Colts to win. But like I said, it's been a great year. Hope everybody that had great holidays, great Christmas. Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, Chalupa, whatever. I don't know what the hell you celebrate. Trumpalooza. No? Okay. Anyway, hope everybody had great holidays. Hope everybody's feeling well. And good luck to all your teams in the playoffs. If they make it, if not, good luck in the offseason. And I'll see you guys next week for a recap of the final week and first week of the playoff picks. Love you guys. It doesn't even feel right saying fuck the Patriots anymore because I just feel like the end is in sight. But fuck the Patriots. Peace out. I'll talk to you guys later.